Our first guest today is a prolific writer, some 30 novels and novellas published so far. A Date at the Altar is the third installment in Cathy Maxwell's Marrying the Duke series, and Cathy Maxwell is also writing a new chapter in her own life. We welcome the New York Times best-selling romance novelist back here to Virginia this morning. Good morning, Cathy.
Good morning. I love being here.
I feel like I just saw you. You were actually here behind the scenes on Friday.
Yeah, with my friend Lorraine, yes. And so we did the Festival of the Word at Midlothian Library. That was great fun. And ran into lots and lots of romance fans over the whole weekend, and wow, it was a wonderful weekend, just a perfect weekend.
For people who don't go to events like the Festival of the Written Word, what is it that they should know about it? Why should they come to something like that? Because it kind of opens up a whole new world, doesn't it?
Well, you know, there's two different types of events. There's events for readers, like we did an event Friday night where we had authors reading from their work, and that was charming. There is nothing like listening to a writer read the words the way in their head they were saying that. It's just great fun. So that's good fun for a reader. And then for those people who think that they'd like to write, I encourage them to go to library functions where they get to meet writers and listen to writers talk about the business of writing and the business of creativity.
Because a lot of people do feel that they can write a book, they just don't know how to go about it.
Or they're afraid. They sit down and they think other people write books, and they also think that everybody hears stories, and that's not true. Hearing stories is a gift. It's like your individual gift. So if you hear stories, I think it's important, not hearing stories, that really does sound strange, doesn't it, a little while. But if you're a person that you think in story, I think you should explore that part of yourself.
Were you smart enough to tap into that? Did you know that you kind of heard things
I made up
story?
stories from the moment I was born, I think. It was always in my head, there was another world going on. I might be sitting in class, but my brain was on a pirate ship. I mean, it was just whatever caught my imagination, I was off to the races. So.
And a lot of times, unfortunately, we try to rein that in a child instead of encouraging them to go with it.
Well, because we want them to get good grades. We want them to pay attention in class. But you know, as I said, not everyone hears stories. And those people, those of us who do, we assume everyone else does. And then of course there's also the other side, and that's the discipline to put it down on a computer screen and write a book. That's a challenge. And you learn how to do it. You get some tips from other writers. So if anyone's listening and they've always thought, well, you know, I think I want to do that, but I'm afraid, or who am I? Well, go for it. I mean, make your life into what you want it to be.
Or just create it in a whole nother world for you.
Oh, exactly, exactly. Let's just go to new places.
That's right, and that's what you do. This is the third installment, A Date at the Altar. So after a couple of false starts trying to get to the altar, we're kind of getting there.
Right, exactly. In the third book, and it's so funny because my editor had said to me before I started this, she said, I've been writing books set in Scotland. And she said, well, do you think you could come to London and write it? And I thought, well, I mean, that's easy. Just cross out Scotland, put London. We can do that. And then she said, and could you put a Duke in that book? Because Dukes are very popular. We all like the billionaire Duke, you know, J.R. Ewing type character, you know, the
unattainable man.
The top dog.
Yeah.
That's it. The top dog with lots of money. Okay, but a heart of gold. Right. That's it. So you know, that was kind of you know, the start of it, and I thought I got to do a Duke my way.
And you did, and so this book is out just a couple of weeks now.
Yes.
And
no, just last week.
Oh,
that's right. It hit the shelves last week.
Yeah. Yeah. I was thinking that was.
I know, it seems like it's.
It does seem like a long time ago. So at your event over the weekend, did you read from this book?
You know, I didn't. I was the master of ceremonies, the mistress of ceremonies.
Top dog.
And I thought that I thought if I read from my book, they'd be enough of her. But what I enjoyed, because I helped organize the event, what I enjoyed was introducing romance readers to some of my favorite writers. And also the writers you don't hear from all the time. You know, Virginia is, we are so fortunate to have so many outstanding writers. So this really, the venue was just kind of my way it was indulging what I wanted to do. I wanted to hear them read, and I brought a few friends along with me.
Oh, that's wonderful. But I have to say that we talked about that new chapter. You're not going to be a Virginia-based author.
This is really hard.
Longer.
This is really, yes. I'm moving to Texas. The Packers are at the house right now, and that's a good reason for me to be here. This has been the longest I've lived any place has been in Virginia. I've spent 28 years here. I raised my children here. I started my career here. I have been proud to be a Virginian. I love Richmond. And now I'm moving to Austin. And it's kind of, I'm a little startled. I knew someday I'd have to move to be closer to family, but I didn't think it'd be this quick. You know, but at the same time, it's a good time to make a transition.
Right.
So.
The nice thing about imagination is that it's portable.
It is. And you know, the other thing, the nice thing about setting up your own events is you can always come back to Richmond.
That is true.
Yes.
And we hope you come back often.
Oh, I will. I will.
And
I love it here. I really love it here. This is a great city.
Well, we'll miss you. You have to come back and see us on Virginia this morning.
Oh, absolutely. Great show.
All right. Cathy Maxwell, just published last week. Cathy Maxwell's book, A Date at the Altar, is available now. And of course, we wish you the best with everything.
Thank you so much.
Good luck with the movers.
Oh, yes.